I've been ministering here for 35 years here in the jungle. We had a road come in about 7 years ago that brought us in here to be able to build these buildings with metal and with brick and all of that. Before, for the first 30 years, I was hiking throughout all the jungle. We would come up with small teams of 4 or 5 men and build a church for usually between 100 or 200 people in a week. And a lot of the Pathfinders were doing that as well. We're out to reach 500 to 600 unreached, isolated, faraway villages. That's why this Bible school exists here. We're training leaders. We have about 20 students right now that will become the leaders, the pastors, the missionaries, the evangelists that will go out and establish works and reach these 500 to 600 unreached villages. This exists for that. Right here, we've got maybe half the team or two-thirds of them working on the platform in the maintenance and supply building they'll be finishing up here in the next week. The guys that are over here with Walt and the other national team, they're going to be building the foundation for the 5-story prayer tower. And so we have to get about 13 pretty deep and serious foundation bases there before we can start building it.
Stuff like this really inspires men, and it's where you can get out and actually get your hands dirty and get involved in missions on a personal level. And I was amazed at the response. There was a lot of guys in our church that are ready to go out and work to do things like this.
You did. The Shuar people are incredible. I believe there's God, let me just say this, I've seen it in the years. God is very jealous for this people. They've been isolated from the regular part of society for centuries and centuries. I believe the enemy has had a real strong foothold, a lot of darkness. But I believe that God has not forgotten about them and wants them to open their hearts.
When you go into the jungle and you just start trying to preach the gospel, they don't have a clue what you're talking about. The best thing to do is start meeting their personal needs, taking medicine, showing you care and helping build things. And it won't take long, and they're going to know why. Who are you? Why are you doing this? Then you can start presenting the gospel. This is what the hike through the jungle is taking. For us, it's something on our shelves we have every day. But to them, it will save their lives, some of it, from infection and other problems. So it's a small thing, but the guys can backpack these medical supplies back into the jungles. We'll meet with the people and have a little church service and then move to the next village.
Now I don't seek the things of the world, but I seek Jesus.
Ahora no tengo interés en las cosas y pecados del mundo y seguir en su buen camino.
That God would want a relationship with me is unbelievable.
Que Dios quiere
We have 500 to 600 young people and children that are already in our churches. And we feel that they will be the workers. They will be the ones to reach those 500 to 600 villages, those children and those young people in these years to come.
What's so amazing about a mission trip is it takes you out of your rhythm and puts you into an opportunity where you're shaken a little bit. You're kind of shaken out of the normal. And you're forced to see things like everyone's talents and abilities, and you're forced to be a part of fellowship with other brothers in Christ who love each other and love God and want to please Him. And I think we kind of all saw this week, but I think if you could put your fingers on God's pulse, it would be people, people, people. We believe John 3:16 that God so loved the world that He gave His only Son. But when we get to be a part of it, it changes our life.
And when you hear the testimonies of these men from your church, let it put strength into you. Let it put vision in you. Let it put courage in you that you want to experience what they have. So open invitation to pray, to come, or to give, and take part in that and see what God will do and share in the harvest and share in the rewards.